Alright guys, what's going on? The King of Platinum here, King Kachi coming at you live. And we're going to talk about the Baza and the Cassowar. Now, as you can see, Harold being a beast swirling that Baza with one hand. Let's go and look at the Baza real quick. As far as with this puppy right here, makes easy prey of enemies with this quiet, agile, and pinpoint accurate Tenno submachine gun. To be honest with you, this is the first submachine gun we have in the game. Of all the weapons we have never had a submachine gun until just now with the Baza. Now, as you can see, pretty much at the base, 26% critical chance with that 2.8 multiplier. It has a high fire rate of 16.67. You ain't gonna feel it until you start firing this thing, and on top of that, it only has a magazine of 40, so you're gonna be reloading quite a bit. But what it also has, which is good, it has a quick reload of 1.4, so that is good. It has a low status, so that may hurt it in the long run, but not quite. As long as you have it like 40 something on that status, you should be fine. But if you look at its base damage with the puncture, impact, and slash, it's mostly puncture, but it's 6.7, 5.8, and the slash of 3.5, so it's not much. But as for the build that I have right here, and since I'm using Harold with this, because I was talking with a number of people as far as with this, and the thing about it is that with the Baza, you could go either way you want to, as far as with putting Argon Scope or bladed rounds. But the reason why I have bladed rounds on here is because since I'm going to be using Harold, you could rely on his critical chance when you use his ultimate. And on top of that, as we all know, 50% chance. And if you go for headshots, it's going to be 210. So you ain't going to worry about that. So that's why I have bladed rounds here for the crit multiplier. Once I start going in on enemies, start killing them and stuff and so on and so forth, that will keep triggering. But like I said, you could have Argon Scope here. So on the headshot, that critical chance will go through the roof. Okay? So if you're going in like regular missions or whatever, keep killing enemies, so on and so forth, have bladed rounds in there if you're using Harold. If you're going end game runs or whatever, have that Argon Scope, because you're going to be going for them headshots and you're going to multiply that tenfold. Right? So this is, I believe, a two-format build. Yeah, because I have a V here and another one here. It already came with one V, so it'll save you a format or two depending on the build. I have a corrosive build on this just for the fact that I have high voltage malignant force and I have thermite rounds, so I could hit them with some kind of heat. So let's just go and see how it would perform against a certain type of enemy. We go into the void and whatnot, so let me see here. I'm just going to have a corrupted heavy gunner just to start off. Let me see here. I'm going to have this guy to like at least, I'm going to put him up to 150 just to see how strong the Baza really is and to see where its fall off may potentially be. So go ahead and simulate that. Also to know, as far as with the Baza, it's silent. So you could use this with Ivara and she will not get out of her prowl. So that's really good. So let's get this going. So we get to see how strong this Baza is. Put that on him, 50%. And you see nothing but reds is right there. That's flat crazy right there. Even though, as you see, the damage as far as with those red crits are 3,000 or 7,000, 5,000. So again, it fluctuates. But since I have Argon Scope in, it's just going through the roof. And especially since I'm using Harold, it's like, wow. All those, you see nothing but reds. Have y'all seen any yellows? Nah. And it's all because I have Argon Scope on. So that's what you can dish out just alone with the Baza. It's really strong in the hands of Harold. Using any other frame, you could practically see, like, there's a huge difference. And like I said, for the time being, like, I'm gonna use Ivara with this because, again, like I said, it's as it says right there, the noise on it is silent. So you can get away with it. As you can see, you could get away with it for using it with Ivara. So I'm just going to use it with her with no kind of buff or whatever, and we'll see how it would perform against a corrupted heavy gunner here. So let's go right here. See, there's some slash in there. Like I said, the slash is low, but since I'm aiming for the head, it's going to be doing the damage, as you can see right there. And as a result, he's going to bite the dust. So, as you can see, 134%. That's going off of the Argon Scope. So, again, with this weapon, as long as you aim for the head, it's going to do the job. And as you can see, it's like, man, it wrecked that heavy gunner. And I mean wrecked him. So you could use the Baza with Ivara and it will be no consequence whatsoever, not one. So let's throw in another beefy enemy, which is, you know, Bombard. So hit him. Keep procking that Argon Scope. You know, let me reload this and pump those bullets into him. So as you can see, he's more of on the beefy side. But as you can, look at his health being drained though, which is really nice. And as a result, he's gonna bite the dust. So even though you're gonna be reloading, like I said, for a good majority of the time, but with Argon Scope, as long as you keep aiming for the head, you're gonna melt enemies with this weapon. You're gonna melt them. Alright, so that's pretty much the Baza in a nutshell. Now, what I'm gonna be talking about next here is I'm gonna be talking about the Cassowar. Now, the Cassowar, I put it in the same category as the Orthos Prime, just from the fact, as it says, it's light and nimble. And on top of that, it has two twin blades, so this polearm will swoop and slice through throngs of hardened foes. So again, it's fast. It has a high status, as you can see. The crit multiplier and the critical chance is on the low side, especially for the critical chance, but it has high status. And it's mostly slash, so that's really good. It also does puncture as well, but the slash is there. So as far as with this weapon, what I like to do with it here is have this build like this. But since that slot is there, you could put in buzzkill. So again, it will keep procking slash a whole bunch. And you could take advantage of condition overload. And once that goes in, we already know what happens. You'll be doing more damage. So just from the sake of that, you should be fine with this weapon. So let's just go in and see how it would perform against the said Bombard that I was going up against earlier with the Baza. So let's just do this. He's gonna try and look and detect me. It's not really gonna matter. So let's see how it would perform here. So as you can see, the slash and the corrosive action is already working him. So all that slash, as you can see, buzzkill really helps a lot. And as a result, he's already dead. 2 times with a 37 on the combo. So, it's not bad. Even if the weapon is 72.8 status, it's going to keep procking. It's going to proc the corrosive, and as you see, it's going to keep procking the slash. So as a result, the enemy is going to go down. So there's really not much to say as far as with the Cassowar. I only put one former into it just because of the fact I want to put in the prime reach. But you could still have maiming strike in there if you want to do your slide attack, so you can get that 90% chance to be a critical hit, which is fine. You don't need to worry about that too much. But as a result, I mean, the Cassowar is a straight up basic polearm with good status, good slash. You could put in buzzkill so that you can get more of the slash out of it, and as a result, just by having buzzkill with condition overload, and you just saw based on the results, you're gonna be killing enemies. Alright, so that's pretty much it, guys, as far as with the Cassowar and the Baza. Both of these weapons are really good, especially the Baza. It may not seem like much as far as with the base damage output that it could deal right here. 6.7, 5.8, and 3.5. The slash is practically non-existent. But once you put the mods in there and you use a certain warframe to push it beyond what you see, the results is pretty shocking. So that's pretty much as far as this video, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later.